you know, when you're looking at like a huge amount of wealth, it's like, did they really work thousands and thousands and thousands of times harder than you? Or did they also take advantage of people along the way to get that much money?
I'm not against millionaires. I'm not even against 10 millionaires, 100 millionaires. When you start getting into the billions, I start think like, I don't think that's optimum. Like, yeah, being rich is cool. Being so rich that like everyone else is actively deprived because of you.
Yeah.
That might not be. Like, it reminds me of this graph where someone was explaining what the actual wealth, just like whatever the word is, looks like. And everyone thinks it looks like this, you know? Mm-hmm. When in reality it looks like this.
Yeah.
And so maybe, like, you know, have a cap.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Max $1 billion. Yeah, I'm okay. Like, $1 billion. Sure, someone gonna have $1 billion.
Yeah.
$100 billion? I don't know. Maybe have like a percentage cap on the total.
Yeah.
Like wealth, like you can only have 0.03% of the total wealth, and that's it.
And it's kind of like when they bring up like, you know, oh, but like they'd pay like this much in taxes if you did that, and it's like, yeah, they would still literally never run out of money, not even close. Because, like, when you have that much money, it continues to make more money unless you're just
and maybe,
you know?
Maybe I wouldn't be so, like, against it. Okay, in my mind, you get $1 billion max, and you have to pay taxes. That's it. Like, if you could just pay taxes, maybe everyone wouldn't be so pissed. Like, pay your taxes.
Yeah.
That's it. And I don't know, people are like, oh, like, well, maybe they pay. No. I am paying for their life when they don't pay taxes. I have to pay for their life when they don't pay taxes. I am paying for the food that the Amazon employees can't afford. They have to go on welfare because they don't make enough money from the warehouses. So then you and me are paying for Jeff Bezos' employees food.
What was it that... Yeah, we're getting on a total side point, but yeah.
We're on an evil corporate planet. This is on topic.
Actually, you're right. This is very on topic.
I didn't want to get into corpos, but Stacey was like, we're talking about corpos. And I was like, shit, okay, we're on to corpos. I'm not against there being billionaires. But I'm saying, like, maybe, you know, cap $1 billion. That's it. You get $1 billion, and you've got to pay taxes, at the least. I'm trying to, like, be reasonable. I don't even want to eat them.
Yeah, that's me.
I used to be a military tech. Except for Mayuko's people, everyone's too corporate here. They just sit around sipping expensive water. So what can I do for you today?
Liarax is down with it. Thanks, Lily Hirax. Todd wants us all to know that Todd wants you to go fight them.
You seem like you have an ear to the ground. What's happening around here?
There's the problems up on Peak 15. Synthetics Insights was shut down by Ananias, and the matriarch came through.
On the topic of Grimes and Elon, listen, I get it, Grimes. I would too.
No.
I would! For billions of dollars? I'd put up with a lot. But you can't be down with the people anymore, Grimes. You just have to live in your special billionaire castle and play with your lightsabers. You can't talk to us anymore.
No.
What?
Not even for billions.
Well, are you talking to, like, deal with Elon Musk specifically, or just a billionaire? Hold on, let me, like, really think about this.
Because honestly, like, they're all... Here's the thing, is that you have to assume that whoever it is, like, not trying to, like, overgeneralize too much, but there's a certain type of personality who's going to have accrued $1 billion, and that it's going to affect the way that they act with other people. And I think I don't know that I could do it. It's kind of like when everyone was saying, like, oh, Melania doesn't, like, really, like, you know, Trump and, like, blah, blah, blah. And I was like...
I think she does.
I think she does. I think she
really likes him.
Yeah.
Because I've seen them together. And she's just a grumpy person, but I've seen her genuinely enjoy how awful he is.
Yeah, and like, everyone wants to sit there and be like, no, she's a poor woman trapped. And I'm like, no.
She's a poor woman trapped in actually having to do work when she didn't want to. On that level, I empathize with Melania.
That was actually kind of...
She just wanted to be a rich,
she literally
trophy
just,
wife.
Yeah, she literally just wanted to be a rich trophy wife. Trump had to go and become president, and then she's like, ugh, I have to go, like, pay attention to starving kids. This sucks.
Yeah, like, she was just a terrible person who didn't want to do good in the world, and then they made her do it. A poor woman.
For appearances, basically. Yeah. Oh, my God.
I love there's this one video where it's like all the Trumps are crying after he lost and they have to leave, and Melania's like, awful.
Yeah, because she's like, all right, now I can go back to just getting my hair done and doing Pilates.
Yeah, and listening to my husband be an awful person and laughing.
Yeah.
What sort of problems are there at Peak 15?
Don't know. There's a blizzard up there, but we've had those before. Never cut the satellite uplinks before. 15's always had a lousy reputation. Nobody talks about what they do there. And everyone sent up comes back a little quieter.
Just a small point. Just because Melania and Ivanka are beautiful, it doesn't mean that they're secretly the voices of reason for, like, the Trumps and stuff.
Oh my God, hell
Remember
no.
that? And I was just like,
people saying that.
no.
People were saying that about Ivanka, and I was like, what?
No, she's just pretty. Like, she's just a pretty person.
No, and people, you know what it is also because, like, she isn't quite as bad as Trump, so everyone was like, oh, well, she's, like, the reasonable, like, nice one. And I was like, no, because if you actually look at the shit that she does and says, she is, like, still horrible. Anyway.
No, because he was using her as a tax haven, too.
Yeah.
Like, guys, it's okay for pretty people to be awful. Like, I know it's hard because you see pretty person, you think, if evil, why hot? But in real life, hot people can be evil. It's allowed.
How can I get into the garage?
You need a pass. You can get one from Ananias or the managers, if you can polish enough gizzard.
Maybe you could let me borrow yours?
Sure. If I wanted to lose my job and get sued into the next spiral arm. Security tracks card use.
Do you know where that matriarch is now?
You looking for her? She took a shuttle to Peak 15 before we lost contact.
What do you do here?
I'm the chief mechanic for Hanshan. Just call me Lee. Humans have a problem saying my full name. Got a team of 12 under me, keeping the shuttles coming and going.
Oh, he's so proud of himself. I love that. Someone says Turians have gizzards. I know it's interesting because they kind of look like bugs, but they're actually birds. And the hard stuff on their head, those are feathers that are, like, hard.
What was that about synthetic insights?
Scuttlebutt says Laura Keene was on the take. So Analea shut down SI's offices. Quiet-like, so no off-world lawyers come in on it.
We can't talk about Baron. Baron's still a baby, I think.
No, they're talking about the daughter.
No, they said Baron's is blah. Just, I don't talk about people under 18. Unless they're like a pop star and I like their music.
Huh. Oh, I thought they were talking about, because somebody mentioned Tiffany earlier.
Oh, who? Who's that?
I know.
I have to go.
You need anything, I'll be here.
Access to the garage is restricted.
I'm on Citadel business. I need to leave this station.
If you want to enter the garage, you need authorization for Mr. Ananias. No exceptions. I'm sorry.
Commander, there have been reports of noise from the Synthetic Insights office. Would you know anything about it?
It's probably Ananias' thugs ripping the place apart.
Smartass, huh? That's fine. I can work with that. Meet me at the hotel for a drink before you talk to Keene. I'll be waiting.
can see why evil people would have fun here, but this is a terrible, awful place to be.
Well, see, I imagine what would be fun is that, like, if you're all evil, it's kind of like your little clubhouse, right?
Yeah, these are the like boring evil people though. They're not like Arya to Loke where it's like, oh, we're evil, we're gonna have sex and like drugs. They're like, we're evil and we're above sex and we're gonna have sex in a weird corner where someone poops on me or something. And you're like, God, ugh. Why do you have to make it like so boring and gross at the same time? I remember Gianna being kind of cool, so maybe we should side with her.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. Parasini, Noveria Internal Affairs.
Alright, I'm really thinking about it. I'm really thinking, like, can I handle hanging out with Elon Musk all day for billions of dollars?
Oh my god, no.
So I'm thinking, like, I've dated a few rich men, thinking, like, yeah, I can do this. Can't do it. But for billions of dollars? I don't know.
Why is an internal affairs agent here?
The executive board knows about Ananias' corruption. I've been undercover for 6 months. I want you to convince Keen to testify before the board. With his evidence, this planet can run profitably again.
You work for Ananias. Can't you just take his records?
He's a crook, not a moron. He doesn't keep logs on his computer saying, this month I stole 3 million credits. Keen's testimony and records are everything I need to prove Ananias' guilt in one package.
Why don't you ask Keen directly?
I'm Ananias' secretary. You'd think he'd believe me? That he'd meet me in some dark alley with his evidence?
I thought corruption was the rule on Noveria.
The rule is don't rock the boat. Self-interest is tolerated if it doesn't interfere with business. Ananias is driving customers away.
Oh yeah, I have a proposition for the communists from Grimes, and I was
Oh,
like, Grimes,
God.
please, just like be a billionaire's girlfriend and just don't talk. Like, just don't talk.
Yeah, and they're also saying, imagine having his babies.
I clenched just now.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Okay. Yeah, all your big talk about for billions of dollars, sure. Could you have a baby with Elon Musk for $1 billion?
If he gave me the $1 billion?
No.
Oh,
you
right.
you have the baby together, so that's assuming that you're gonna at least have to interact with him and the baby for the rest of your life. Because you can't just steal the baby away from a billionaire.
Damn it! You're right. I'll have to kill him.
Just find an undercover cop and pay him $1,200.
Okay, we gotta get through this conversation.
Yeah,
and then I'll tell you
will
what
explain what that's about.
It was amazing.
I need
Okay.
Keen's garage pass to complete my mission.
You help my investigation, I'll provide whatever you need. Favor for a favor.
Ananias is dirty. It might be best to help her.
Look, Shepard, I don't like this either. You Spectres play fast and loose with the law. That's bad for business.
Pay me.
Keen is offering to pay me. Can you?
I can produce a copy of Ananias' pass for you. I can't move large sums of money without someone noticing.
Do you know why the matriarch is here?
Something to do with Peak 15. She arrived after we received their Code Omega, automated warning of a containment breach. She came with an escort of Asari commandos. They took the last shuttle up to Peak 15 with a load of crates.
Do you know what she had in the crates?
No idea. The commandos wouldn't let anyone near them. They seemed heavy, though.
How can I get to Peak 15?
The shuttles are down, so you'd have to drive up. If you get Keen to testify, I'll get you into the garage.
I love it when I make a video game character that I want to be and be with. So the whole time I'm just staring at the character like, yeah, I did good. That's good content.
Do you know why the matriarch is here?
Something to do with Peak 15. She arrived after we received their Code Omega, automated warning of a containment breach. She came with an escort of Asari commandos. They took the last shuttle up to Peak 15 with a load of crates.
All right. I'll talk to Keen and see if I can convince him.
Thank you. You know where I work. Come talk to me once you know if he'll play ball.
They're saying that our shepherd is hot.
I knew it.
Okay, so should we tell them about, well, after we talk to this guy? Basically, we were talking about a TV show.
Oh yeah, but it's like it really happened. So before Stacy came over, like I watched this episode of like just detecting a psychopath. It was on Amazon Prime, and one episode was like the rare female psychopath. And I was like, okay, just women are just better at hiding it. Anyway, it starts off and shows this woman, and she's like, this cop comes up to her, and it's like real footage of they were recording it for like cop reasons or whatever. And they come up to her and they're like, listen, dude, your husband's dead. And she just starts bawling, like screaming and crying. And the cop's like, you need to calm down and come with us. Calm down. Just like, you have to calm down. We're leaving. Like, we have to take you with us because your husband's been murdered. And I'm sitting there like, this guy's an asshole.
Her husband was murdered. She's sad.
And I was like sitting there like, God, like what if, ACAB is true? Like this guy was being so cold and so like nonchalant about this woman having a full-on breakdown because her husband was murdered. Turns out he wasn't murdered. The cop knew he wasn't murdered. They had her on video trying to hire an assassin to murder her husband. She has tried to hire an assassin. The assassin she hired was an undercover cop. They take her to the thing. She's crying. She's like, my husband's dead. Like, what's going on? And they're like, oh, I don't know. But, like, I just want to know, do you recognize this man? It's the undercover cop. He comes in pretending that he's arrested. Like, he really still was the assassin.
Like in handcuffs
and he's like,
and
oh,
everything.
my God. And she's like, I don't know who that is. And they're like, really? Because we have on video you talking to him and saying you're 5,000% sure you want your husband to be murdered. And she's like, no, like, what? I didn't do anything. What are you talking about? And then they open the door. Here's your husband. He's alive.
And they knew that she gave him, what, $1,200?
It was $1,200.
And that, like, when you said that, I was just like, well, she should have known that wasn't an actual. There's no way.
That's not enough.
It's way too good of a deal for a murder. Come
From
on.
a stranger? Like, maybe if you guys were in a gang and you guys, like, knew each other.
Yeah, or, like, if they're also getting something out of it. But, like, it's a huge risk to take for a stranger for only $1,200.
Do you remember what happened to Joe Exotic? And he tried to murder that woman? He didn't give that guy enough money to murder her. And guess what? He went off to have sex with strippers instead.
That's the problem.
So
did they divorce?
And then later, she calls him from jail being like, Mike, you have to get me a lawyer. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, please. And he's like, I'll get you whatever you want if you sign the house back over to me. And I'll take care of your mom for you. And she's like, that's my house. I'm not doing that.
Whoa.
Yeah, immediately changed. That's my house. Even though it's not really her house. He just put it in her name.
Oh, my God.
Always a pleasure, Spectre. Any news on that matter I asked you to look into?
I finished the job, but an internal affairs investigator contacted me. She wants you to testify against Ananias.
Now that you have my property, you want to dictate how I use it. I have no interest in a public spectacle.
Everyone on this station is chafing under Ananias' extortion. You might end up a hero.
My employers rely on the goodwill of the executive board to work here.
The board is investigating Ananias. They'll be more angry at him than at you.
All right. It is obvious that I cannot dissuade you. Very well. I will testify. Make whatever arrangements you need with your contact. I will wait here.
There's just something so unbelievably satisfying about that particular woman being caught just like that. Just like watching her. No! That's what I wanted. Well,
This is like a bit of a side point, but do you ever remember reading about, like, you remember who Lorena Bobbitt is, right? The woman who cut off her husband's dick, and then he got it sewed back on.
oh my God! I watched a documentary about her. She's innocent. She didn't do anything wrong.
Well, yes, she did it. However, he was abusive, and he continues to stalk her. Even, like, decades later, sends her letters all the time. And, like, like, she cut his dick off basically because he was extremely abusive and awful, and, like, she didn't know how to get away from him.
So, like, if you're listening to this and being like, oh, why didn't she leave? there's a documentary on it where like she has proof, she tells, and they show the testimony, all things they didn't show us in the early 90s when this happened.
Yeah.
And like I don't want to get into it because it's like it really is that bad.
Look
it
it up.
really is
look
so
it up
bad.
If you're curious, but it's very it's
yeah,
awful.
like I was sitting there like, yeah, that was the minimum that you had to do.
Yeah.
Like
but like the way that the US media like sensationalized that case when it happened, like they made it out as if it was like some like sort of like funny joke.
Oh yeah, because they're like, oh, she did it because he was cheating on her. It wasn't because he was cheating on her.
Yeah.
She was trying to protect herself.
Yeah, and and so and like then of course like they talked to her like decades later, and she was like, yeah, like he still sends me letters all the time, even though he's like not supposed to contact me, and like
yeah, and if you talk to him, he's like, yeah, she's just obsessed with me, and she's like trying to get money out of me, and then like they got back to her, and she's like married, has a stable
has
wife,
moved on,
like volunteer, like genuinely a good person, not like fake, genuinely a good person.
Shepard.
Captain
You're the
Grayson
Spectre,
says,
right?
people in super bad
Management told us
relationships
not to
often
talk
feel
to
like they can't leave. My mom is an attorney and sees stuff like that in divorce all the time. Yeah, it's really complicated. You know, in situations where there isn't, like, even if you have all of the things like, you know, financial independence and stability or like whatever, it's still just like when somebody gets you trapped in a relationship like that mentally,
like you feel like guilty, like you fucked up so bad, but you have to make it up to them.
Mm-hmm.
I want one piece of advice that I think is really important is the moment you start thinking I can't do better than this person, that is the moment.
That's a bad sign.
I need you to know that is 100% a fact then that you can, because if you think this feels bad but I can't do better, that is the number one sign that you can do better. Because if you feel like shit and you're only staying because you can't do better, that is a product of whatever the fuck that other person did to you.
Yeah, and there's a difference between like being like grateful and like happy to be with your partner and being like, wow, like I'm so happy with them.
I'm so lucky.
Yeah, I'm so lucky versus being like,
this is what I'm stuck with.
Yeah, or even like this, like this is the best it's gonna get, that type of thing.
All right. So Turians have face markings based off of like what colony they came from traditionally. What kind of sexy ass colony is just like, we're just gonna do this? I don't know. This is the hottest one. Maybe they're not even from a colony. Maybe they're like, once we join the Mercs, we go blank.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking it's more like we want to be anonymous. Like, kind of like wearing a ski mask.
Oh my god, because they're mercenaries and they don't want long-term enemies, they cover up their identifying markers?
Yeah.
That's so smart.
Mm-hmm.
Spectre, have you given any more consideration to my offer?
It took some persuasion, but Keen has agreed to testify.
That's a world of stress off my back. I'll take the evidence for safe transport. I didn't think you'd help me, being a Spectre and all. I guess some of you can be all right.
So, how about getting me into the garage?
While you were working on Keen, I got you a garage pass. Be careful up there. I have an arrest to make. Wish I had time to change into something easy to move in. I hate skirts.
This is an outrage. I'll see that you never work in this sector again.
Whoa.
Yeah, get a move on.
He's getting
You,
manhandled by
Shepard,
his secretary.
I demand you place this bitch under arrest.
You have the right to remain silent. I wish to God you'd exercise it. See you around the galaxy, Commander.
Oh no,
I owe you a beer.
sexily.
Damn. We can go steal stuff from his office. Do you want to take 5 minutes or so?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna. I'll throw up a codex, and then we'll be good.
Oh,
Let
yeah,
me
that's
just.
a good idea.
All right. What does everyone want to listen to?
The Citadel is an ancient deep space station, presumably constructed by the Protheans. Since the Prothean extinction, numerous species have come to call the Citadel home. It serves as the political, cultural, and financial capital of the galactic community. To represent their interests, most species maintain embassies on the Presidium, the Citadel's inner ring. The Citadel Tower in the center of the Presidium holds the Citadel Council Chambers. Council affairs often have far-reaching effects on the rest of the galactic community. 5 arms, known as the Wards, extend from the Presidium. Their inner surfaces have been built into cities, populated by millions of inhabitants from across the galaxy. The Citadel is virtually indestructible. If attacked, the station can close its arms to form a solid, impregnable shell. For as long as the station has existed, an enigmatic race called the Keepers has maintained it.
We just had some bomb jokes, so we're gonna say them again. Go ahead.
All right, I was saying my legs are too long, and I clarified and said I do really appreciate being very tall and having gorgeous long legs.
It is hard,
but sometimes it is hard
being so perfect.
Finding pants, you know, being able to reach all the things on the tall shelves. You know, it's hard.
Yeah, I would say it's really hard having huge, juicy knockers too. Life is, you know, it's hard when everyone hands you everything you want because of how big your boobs are. But, you know, it's difficult.
I'm just like, I look back on, I know that we've talked about this on videos before, but I remember back to when I was in like, you know, like grade school and high school, and how many times I got in trouble for wearing short shorts that were just like normal shorts, but because my legs are so long, they look like short shorts. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like, first of all, they're wrong. Second of all, I remember like adults very extreme, like, I mean, I get it. I don't want to see like a teenager's butt, but I'm pretty sure your butt wasn't out.
No, definitely not.
But sometimes it felt like this like from women, it felt like this inappropriate jealousy. And it was like, ma'am, I'm a child.
I can actually, I can think of a very specific instance. This was when I was in treatment, not the time that you and I met, but where we had to have like a meeting between like me and another and a woman who was older than me, and like a bunch of like counselors, because she kept saying things about my clothes and outfits that were like normal clothes.
Where was this?
This was at the place. The
non-work other place?
The place, no, the place that we met.
Oh, okay,
but,
yeah.
But the other time that I was there, and like,
ugh.
No, and so she kept like saying all these things, being like, "Oh, you're just like, you know, like showing off and like blah blah blah," and I was like, "I'm wearing shorts because it is hot, and I would like to be comfortable, and also like, why are you so bothered that I'm wearing shorts? Like, there's obviously nobody here that I'm trying to impress.
And even if you were, so what?
Whose business is that, you know?
Oh, yeah, you're just trying to impress boys. Yeah, I am.
Well, there were no boys there.
Well, you know what I mean?
But yeah, of course.
So you're just trying to impress all the girls. Yes, I am.
Well, and it's, you know, it's like when people do the whole like, oh, you're just doing it for attention, and it's like, do you know that like people do things for attention all the time? Like, what? It's just such like a weird.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because she was being a fucking weirdo.
They had to confront her about it because she was being so like specifically targeting me over it, and like at the time I was in like my early 20s, and so that was like really weird attention to be getting from somebody who was like much older than me, you know?
Yeah, sometimes I feel as if like lady on lady crime is a product of just like, oh, she wants attention. Okay. Well, how can you get attention? Because it seems like you want attention and you're not getting it. Mm-hmm. So what's a healthy way for you to also express that you want attention too?
Yeah.
Instead of being angry at someone else for getting attention for
their way,
and maybe you want to have attention that way too. Okay. Fine. What's a healthy way for you to get that kind of attention?
Yeah.
Because I feel like people are brought up being like, you shouldn't want attention because that makes you an attention seeker.
And that makes you not humble or like
whatever.
All that stuff, yeah.
All of those things are put into place by people who are narcissists and don't want other people to get attention, or because a narcissist once acted so insane that everyone's like, well, we can't have that anymore. Attention seeking is bad. Mm. When in reality, maybe we all just need to find healthier ways to ask for positive attention.
Yeah.
Access to the garage is restricted.
I have authorization. Excuse me.
Yes, that's genuine. Drive safely. The weather's supposed to be pretty bad out in the Alutsk Valley.
Sorry, I keep burping and not opening my mouth, so you can't hear it. I apologize.
They pay good money for that, Stacey.
I know. You're missing it.
Woo! Why do they move so sexy? Like, ooh, they're gonna crawl on me.
I see, these are what the matriarch had in the crates.
Oh my god, they're gonna like crawl on me.
God damn it, stop moving! Alright. I'm just gonna let my squad mates get this done. Hold on.
Whoa. See that guy just go. Silver Minty says I will tip for burps, Stacey. I like them loud.
Oh no! Get away from me! Okay.
Where are these things? Fan out and secure the area. No one gets in or out.
Garrus, okay, you're good. If, you get the right upgrades, you can just have indefinitely forever.
Oh, a friend of mine that was replaying through Resident Evil 8, they had that where it's like, as one of the modes, you can get a gun that has unlimited ammo, and watching them play through some of those sections with just like blowing everybody apart was actually really fun.
Yay!
Oh, also, if anybody is looking for a fun game to play with friends, I would recommend Deep Rock Galactic.
Deep Rock Galactic.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're basically playing a bunch of like dwarves who are like mining stuff on other planets, and you kill bugs, and you just kind of like run around and shoot stuff and like mine things, and your team works together and has like different abilities and stuff. I think I talked about it on the video before, actually, now that I'm saying this, but yeah, it's fun.
Unrelated, I realized I hold a lot of tension in my left side and then right here in my chest. And I didn't really even realize I was literally restricting my breathing like all the time. Because I was like clenching my left side. I clench my left side all the time. And I'm realizing this and I'm trying to train myself not to because it causes me a lot of pain. And then, like, I didn't even realize this. I've been clenching my chest so that, like, I can't fully take a breath in because I'm dumb.
Oh.
And so I, like, massaged this part and then, like, released, like, this knot. And I was like, oh.
That's like people who end up with, like, all these headaches and then they eventually realize it's because they're clenching their jaw all the time.
They're like, oh my god, I'm always in pain.
Yeah. Turns out it's because I'm just an anxious mess.
Well, I thought I was like, oh, I'm just clenching the left side of my jaw. No, I'm literally clenching the entire left side of my body, including my jaw. It's so stupid. Pew. And then, I talked to this man I played World of Warcraft in, and he said I was magical and have magical empath abilities. I was like, I can't believe that because I'm mentally ill, but that made me feel really, really good. Thank you. Like, sometimes every once in a while, even if, like, it's not that I don't think it's true, it's just that I can't indulge in that kind of stuff. Because, you know, like, magical thinking is an issue for me. And I know that, and I have to be aware of it.
I find the whole empath thing kind of understandable because at least the way that I've heard it explained is that, like, I mean, when people aren't being all, like, you know, woo-woo crystals about it.
Yeah.
Like, when you actually boil it down, it's basically like
you're just good at listening.
No, I was going to say that you take on the emotions of other people around you. So, like, if other people are stressed, like, more so than, like, everybody, you know, often does that to a certain extent. But it's like, for somebody who has, like, strong empathic capabilities, like, if people around them are stressed or in pain, it's like really distressing.
So, like, I 100% believe that is true and that happens. But, like, here's the thing. You can either believe, like, there's this metaphysical reason, or what's more likely, in my opinion, they've been in a situation where somebody else's emotions completely dictated how their day would go. And they had to learn to be able to read and respond to those things. And then, like, now that they're away from this person, they still feel like if somebody else feels bad, I have to fix it, otherwise bad things are going to happen to me. And that's probably the more likely thing. But what's important is that somebody sees that and, like, metaphysical or not, you know, magical or not, the end result of you being a very, like, intense on other people's feelings person is it's still there.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like when people, it's like when you try and delve into a lot of like mental health things, and it's like, listen, whether the reason is something physical or emotional, mental, like whatever it is, if the end result is the same, like
it's real.
It's real because it affects how you experience the world and how you interact with other people around you. So like that's not to say that like, oh, it's not technically important if, you know, my bipolar disorder is like actual brain chemical differences, or if it's just like that's
ghosts in your brain,
or if it's just like that's emotionally how I've learned to interact with the world, because the end result is still going to be the same thing, you know?
If you are a highly empathetic person to the point where it's like it's intolerable to have someone else be unhappy, and if it makes you feel good that it's like, you know, a spiritual reason, I support you 100%, because like if that's what makes you feel good and that's what's healthiest for you, then yeah, go ahead. And not that you need my permission for anything, but like,
yeah,
for me personally, it's not good for my mental state to give in to that kind of stuff. But that doesn't mean that like what I think should dictate how you feel.
Yeah. Silver Minty says heightened empathy can develop as the result of constant hypervigilance from childhood trauma. And that makes a lot of sense to me, because it kind of is like being hypervigilant of other people's emotions, and
because you have to be. But it's great. And it doesn't always have to be from childhood. It can be from a shitty relationship you've been in, you know? Like, you date someone who just sucks. And it's taken me so long to realize that some people just suck and there's just, like, nothing that can be done about it.
Well, I think, you know, sort of what you're saying is that if you date somebody who is, you know, for instance, very, you know, like, to bring out a personal example, like, one of the things that I grew up with was having a mom who was extremely emotionally unstable, and so it makes you very hyper aware of, like, how is this other person feeling? What should I do about it? How can I, like, manage my own stuff so that I'm still okay, even though I never know what they're gonna do, you know? Yeah.
And learning to be okay around somebody who's not happy and being like, okay, that's not about me.
Yeah, and like that you don't need to fix it, you know? That like, or that, and that you didn't cause it, that it's just a thing that happens, and it's like, sometimes other people are gonna be sad or mad, and like, that's just how emotions work.
It's about finding that happy balance between, like, caring about your partner and wanting to make them feel better, and being completely unable to self-soothe if they're having a bad day.
Yeah.
And also, people who are who suck, I hate using like labels and stuff, but I'm gonna use the general term narcissist just to like get all like the things. If you want to, just go Google it if you don't know what I'm talking about. But like, people seek out others who are like that. They're like, oh, this person's willing to like fucking bend over backwards to keep me happy. I'm going, instead of like appreciating that and realizing that I'm very lucky to have somebody who's like that, I'm going to exploit it for personal gain. And if you're an adult and you're with somebody and you keep thinking, well, we just need to get through this thing, and they'll go back to being the person I met. They never will, I promise. Or if they're like, oh, they just like need to work on themselves, they have so much potential. Yes, that's true. And you should believe in people. And you should be supportive of your friends. But do you need to date somebody who sucks because they can't figure their shit out? No. Like, you're not a bad person and you're not selfish or whatever the fuck for not wanting to date someone for literally any reason you want.
Yeah.
You cannot date someone for the most shallow, stupid reasons.
Arbitrary reasons.
Stupid, arbitrary reasons. Like, if you're 10 years married, okay, like, learn how to figure that out. If you're 2 months in, you can break up with someone for the stupidest fucking reason you can possibly think of.
I always find that interesting when you see, like, threads on Twitter where it's, like, people being like, oh, I can't believe they dumped someone for such a stupid reason. And it's like, yeah, if it's a long-term relationship, like, it's really shitty. But if someone's just, like, dating around and they decide, like, oh, I only want to date people who are, like, 5'2", why does it matter? I don't know.
I mean,
like,
you can complain about it. Like, if someone breaks up with you and that, like, and you're like, that's a stupid fucking reason, you're allowed to be fucking mad about it. And they're allowed to break up with you. Like,
yeah.
Negative emotions happen, and you just gotta be cool with it.
Is this your first Mass Effect experience? No. Yeah, we have videos for Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3 on the channel, so, but we hadn't done Mass Effect 1, and now that they released the Legendary Edition, we decided we would go back and play it. I do. So, yes, Lilium, I agree.
I died. Go ahead.
Yes, Lilium, I agree that the height reasons are stupid, but I also, like, if somebody...
Do you want to be with someone who's stupid?
Yeah. If somebody makes that... If somebody decides that they want to have, like, absolutely wackadoodle preferences and they dump me over it, I'm like, cool. We were not going to get along anyway.
Yes, I think that's the main thing. It's like, okay, but you need to fit this idea I have of what a relationship should be. You need to find the person who will fit that, not find a person and make them fit it.
Yeah.
You know? Because...
Yeah.
It's like, they broke up with you. Let's say I was upset someone broke up with me because I was bisexual and their family was conservative. And it's like, okay, well, I don't want to be with somebody who thinks like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
It still sucks. They're still wrong. Like, they're stupid. But I don't want to be with somebody who's wrong and stupid.
Yeah. You know, so being on the taller side for a woman, there have definitely been times where people, usually men, actually, it's always been men, but who didn't want to date me because of my height. And on the one hand, it's like, I can sit there and be mad about it, but also, I don't really want to date somebody who's going to think that way. So, like, I'm not, it's like, I don't know, it almost just doesn't make me mad because I'm like, oh, we're clearly going to be a horrible fit, you know? Thank you, Cool Duck, for extending your subscription through August. We really appreciate that.
Oh, thanks, dude. Person?
And I also think that breaking up with is perfectly fine. If that's the type of thing that's going to cause a lot of, like, anxiety and stress in the relationship, like, why deal with it?
You know what, though? What I find... Oh, get the fuck away from me! Wah! Oh, hold on. What I find hilarious is, like, there have been a few times where, like, I see on the internet, like, specifically conservatives being like, why can't you guys be open-minded into dating people? Because it's like, there's always...
They're saying that they're having a hard time hearing us over the gunshots.
Woof. It's really getting down there.
Yeah. Like, no, I'm sorry. I don't want to date someone who voted for Trump. I just don't, okay?
And you know what it always ends up being? It's like, oh, you know, we can have different opinions, and it's fine. And usually I really can let shit go if I just don't feel like fighting. Because I interact with people like a human. It's usually them, always, who sends you some random fucking article trying to get you to change your mind. Unprompted, unasked for. And I don't do that shit. I just, like, mind my own fucking business. It's like, why can't we be friends? I'm like, I don't know, I guess. Here's an article about how everything you like and enjoy and support is stupid. I'm trying to make you see the light. And I was like, I thought we were respecting each other's political differences. Mm-hmm. Clearly that was a lie. And, like, you don't even see that you can't even do what you yourself are asking me to do. So.
What did I walk in on? Don't worry about it.
Why the fuck? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's weird how there's
User
a big
alert. All Peak 15 facilities have suffered a great deal of damage.
Go ahead.
Biohazard materials present throughout facility. Virtual intelligence user interface offline.
We'll need to get the reactors back online.
By the way, I, like, you know, when you're in a political debate and they bring up, like, examples and shit, I'm like, okay, like, we're having a debate. If I'm just sitting here chilling, playing some fucking video games, I get, like, a message, hey, did you see this? This is why you're wrong. And I'm like, we're not friends anymore. Like, obviously you said we could, but we can't. Like,
I just, like, I do think I think it's okay to, like, have certain things where you're like, yeah, I don't feel like engaging with that, you know?
It's called a boundary, and it's allowed.
Yeah. Because, like, push comes to shove, like, no Trump supporter has to feel like they should have to date me either, you know? Like, I'm not gonna sit there on social media and get, like, so pissy because, you know, like, I just wouldn't engage at all. And I'm only using that as an example because that's a very, like, recent and, like, polarizing example. But there's tons of things like this where it's like, if our views don't line up on certain things, we're probably not going to get along. And not only that, but they're probably not going to get along with literally any of my friends. And, like, you know, there's a difference between, like, having different views on taxes and having different views on human rights.
Mm-hmm. There are two turrets pointing inwards towards the base.
Great.
So just in case you guys, like, it's some environmental storytelling. It's implying that something has gone wrong. They're trying to keep something inside.
Ooh.
A non-aggressive example I can give is, like,
why are the turrets facing the wrong way?
They want to keep their people in as much as they want to keep others out.
That
like,
seems
I can
ominous.
hang out with communists. I can get what they're saying sometimes, and I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. But myself, I'm not a communist, and I'm just like, that's fine. We can hang out. Sometimes when I hang out with some communists, they seem to be, like, completely unable to accept that I just have a different opinion, and I just, like, don't care to argue about it. And they'll just keep going and sending and then being like, you're fucking whatever, and I'm just like, I didn't even bring this up. I don't even want to talk about it. I just don't agree with you. The end. Like, that's all you're going to get from me.
Yeah.
And it's just, like, so, and I'm not just talking about, I, like, literally, that was just, like, one example of, like, you know, I'm just trying to chill.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, like, this is, like, a bit of a side point, but when it comes to dating, like, I don't really tend to date, it's like I date people who have the same, like,
I meant friendships, not dating, sorry.
Oh.
For, like, the communism thing.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was just gonna say, like, I do tend to, like, be around people who have the same views as me, but I don't tend to be around people who are, like, super, super politically active, only because, like they still vote and stuff, obviously, but not, like, even if I, like, met somebody who was, like, you know, super into, like, being a Democrat or whatever, I don't think I would enjoy that. Because I don't really like talking about politics all the time.
Yeah, this is politics vent time. Then we go back to just eating chips.
What was that?
Animals, wind, this place is in bad shape.
Little baby. I was at Trader Joe's and I just saw this guy just like unprompted start talking to his coworkers about like politics, and you could see in their eyes they're like, yeah, he's right, but like shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And it's like you're not saying anything I disagree with, but it's like hour 7 of our shift. Please shut the fuck up. Like,
yeah.
No. Like what he did was like you could tell this person was trying to leave, and this guy was like, did you see what your president did, Biden? And it's like, oh, he's one of those guys where it's like, no matter what you say, it's not enough.
Yeah.
Like, it will never be enough to like say whatever the fuck it is that he wants to. Like, even if you said exactly what he said, he'd be like, well, what about this? And it was like, dude, I literally just like repeated back to you what you were saying just so you would shut the fuck up. So obviously.
But yeah, like I don't think I could date somebody who was like super into like Twitter activism.
What were those things?
Not because I think like it doesn't make a difference, but just because
field.
like
Maybe
it's
someone
a
in the
level
labs
of intensity that I don't.
Keep in mind, both of us do yell on Twitter. We're
Yeah.
talking about somebody who literally doesn't think about anything else.
Yeah. I'm talking about the people who like. Yeah.
I like being politically active, but sometimes I want to laugh and be happy.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it. A lot of people who are like that really feel passionate about what they're doing, and I
respect that.
I respect it.
Yeah.
However, I don't want to be around you.
Well, it's kind of like, you know, would you date a pro athlete even
No.
if they were like a really nice person, but all they talked about was their golf game? Would you know what I mean? Like, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. Sure, they're very talented, whatever. But if that's like such a huge part of their life, you know, and just
so
it doesn't always have to be like, you know, considered a bad thing. It can just be like, hey, this is a pretty big interest for this person and it doesn't align with mine.
Yeah. What I know of dating athletes, not that I have, just what I know of is that usually if you want to be their partner, like I'm talking about like millionaire athletes, you are expected to just give up your whole life and only take care of them and all of their needs forever. Mm-hmm. And it's not like a misogynistic thing. It's more of just like, that's just how my life works because my entire life has been dedicated to learning one thing and one thing only. And I need a partner who's going to help me, support me in that.
Well, also, it's kind of similar to dating like a musician or an actor. Like if they go on tour, if they're constantly like shooting films in different places, it is easier if you have one partner who can kind of go with them and do whatever they're doing, as opposed to like two people who have like completely separate lives and then they're trying to like you know.
We all know what happened with Billy Bob Thornton and what's her face.
We do.
No, we don't. So now I have to explain it. So Angelina Jolie is so hard to defend sometimes because she's such a sweet lady, but also at the same time
power system,
awful.
command.
Critical startup error. Virtual intelligence user interface offline. Manual boot required.
So this area kind of reminds me of like sci-fi, The Thing / Aliens. But anyway.
You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of like one of those docking stations in like a Disney ride where like you go in and they're like, here, get in your little pod, you know, and then you go on a 3D ride. Anyway, you were saying about Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, it's like I want to love her, but it's like she goes to different countries, saves people's lives, like really does shit for people, but at the same time has multiple times wrecked homes on purpose. And I'm just like, okay, like I don't know how to feel about you. Mm-hmm. Because not only did she destroy Jennifer Aniston's marriage when they were married.
Yeah, but I feel like Jennifer Aniston lucked out on that one.
No, because Brad Pitt sucks.
Yes. We found that out later, but
she also saved another woman from a horrible man. You know what? Maybe she's not wrecking homes. She's saving women.
Yeah.
She's like, no, you can't. I have to save you. But she
and
also
she's gonna do it in such a way that the women will never get back with the man. You know?
I'm pretty sure Billy Bob Thornton was dating iconic gay queen lady from Jurassic Park. I don't remember her name.
Laura Dern?
I think it was Laura Dern. It was one of those blonde actresses. And she was like, yeah, I went out filming, and when I came back, my boyfriend who lives with me, my live-in boyfriend, I was gone for 3 months. My live-in boyfriend of like 5 years is now married to Angelina Jolie and adopting a child. Didn't say anything to me.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa.
She had to find out from gossip. Like gossip magazines. We gotta go find the virtual intelligence. Oh, here it is.
But yeah, if he was willing to do that, I say Angelina Jolie did her a favor.
Yeah, Angelina Jolie, probably not on purpose.
Not on purpose,
has
obviously.
saved many women.
Yeah.
From.
That's honestly, that's how I look at a lot of that stuff, where it's like, oh my god, like I can't believe, and I'm like, better that this happened sooner rather than later. That you find out that this person is actually a shitlord, whichever way it goes.
Yeah, Angelina Jolie actually saviored women.
Yeah. like, oh, they're willing to leave you after, 5 years and just fucking disappear. Okay, get out of here. What's the goal here?
I get them all onto Y.
Oh.
I don't know. Transfer module stacks to core 2 or 3 to reactivate. Okay, never mind.
Emissary says, I just spent the 100 Omni Gel for this one. I don't understand.
I'm just gonna make Omni Gel. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Where does it say how much Omni Gel I have?
I'm not sure. Is Mass Effect worth playing?
Yes. To me it is.
Yeah.
But I've realized over the years that people have different opinions than me. It's weird.
Emissary says, in Mass Effect 3, there's a mini game in the Citadel arcade that references this puzzle, and Shep refuses to play it. It's the circle thing? Yeah.
I need a lot more.
Womp womp. Man, time is like flying by today.
Because we're having a good time complaining.
Yeah.
This is literally our time to complain.
It's true.
Oh.
I do like it when we just get started on like a bunch of topics and like all of them end up in the same place, which is us just bitching about stuff and the chat being like, yeah, you tell them.
Garrus, you look so cute.
Silver Minty says, I love complaining.
Me too. Do you want Garrus to be pink?
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
Oh, you look so good, Liara.
Ooh, I like that. Complain stream is my favorite. Yay! Oh, so have you watched Inside yet, the Bo Burnham show?
I can't. It's too much for me.
I figured.
I will cry too much.
He does have some funny songs about Jeffrey Bezos.
God damn it.
So close.
There we go.
All right. You did it!
It sounds like James Bond. Is that a reference to a James Bond level? Like we did
It looks like you're trying to restore this facility. Would you like help?
You're the virtual intelligence that runs this place?
This system is monitored to respond to the name Mira. May I ask your name?
Commander Shepard. I work for the Citadel's Special Tactics and Reconnaissance.
One moment, please. Council authority confirmed. You are entitled to secure access of all systems. Please note that queries relating to corporate secrets require privileged access. Privileged access is only available to Binary Helix executives. This system is ready to process queries. You may access me at any holographic interface within Peak 15.
I understand the logic behind like the VI designs, but honestly, in real life, I'd be like, who the fuck designed this? Who animated the eyeball veins to flash at me?
I like it.
But would that be good as like a product? Not like a cool thing that you bought for yourself, but something you had to like it's all bright lights and like shimmering things and its eyeball veins are animated and stuff. Like it would be a lot to deal with. Just like you go to work and it's like, hello, I'm a terrifying nightmare. You're like, ugh.
I guess I didn't think it looked like terrifying or.
If you had to look at that on a Monday morning, 8 a.m., you go to work and it's like, hello, and you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, no, I just thought it looked cool, so I'd be like, oh, cool, the office got like a new robot, yeah.
The office has a new terrifying nightmare to haunt my dreams in.
I need to find Matriarch Benezia.
Lady Benezia departed on the passenger tramway to the Rift Station subsidiary labs. User alert. The tramway system is currently inoperable.
Tell me that's not like too overwhelming for eyes on a daily basis.
What's the situation here?
One moment, please.
I'm gonna be honest, like
Diagnostics in progress. Critical failure. Main reactor shut down in accordance with emergency containment procedures. Manual restart required. Critical failure. Landline connections are disabled. Passenger tram systems are offline. Report complete. Do you have an additional system status query?
Do you know why the reactor was shut down?
I'm sorry, but I was offline at the time. Shutdown could occur if reactor breach seems likely, or in the case of catastrophic laboratory containment failure. Emergency guidelines suggest the frigid environment will kill biological contagions. It may also damage mechanical ones.
Turn off the heat and hope the cold puts whatever you have unleashed to sleep.
What do I need to do to get the power back on?
The valves to the helium-3 fuel line must be opened. This can be done at the controls on the reactor assembly proper.
What are the landlines and why are they disabled?
The landlines connect my mainframes here at Central Station to the various sub-facilities of Peak 15. This allows the crew to remotely access my databases from the comfort and security of their labs. When emergency protocols were implemented within the hot labs, the cabling was automatically ejected.
How do I reconnect the landlines?
The landlines are designed for easy reconnection. The router for the landlines is on the roof of operations. Simply activate the controls and the hardware will reconnect and reboot automatically.
Tell me what happened here.
I'm sorry, but I need a more specific query.
Tell me what occurred immediately before you shut down.
Stage 1 alert issued at Hot Labs. Contaminants released from Laboratory Pod Gamma. Emergency protocols implemented. Stage 2 alert issued at Hot Labs. Isolation tube breached. Tram shut down. Landline to Hot Labs disconnected. Stage 3 alert issued locally. Contaminants in tram tunnels. Station shutdown and evacuation initiated. Code Omega sent.
When she blinks and you still see her eyes, jeez.
What sort of contaminants escaped?
I'm sorry, Commander. Inquiries related to our research require privileged access. Only executives of Binary Helix have that level of clearance.
The creatures we've encountered here, did they come from the labs?
I'm sorry, Commander. Inquiries related to our research require privileged access. Only executives of Binary Helix have that level of clearance.
Why were you taken offline?
In the event, Peak 15 must be sterilized for security purposes. My program and data are purged.
They kill you if something goes wrong?
My systems are permanently disabled. To be killed, I would need to be alive. I am merely a database program.
That's all I need right now.
Very well, Commander. Logging you out.